Talk about all the games happened on Wednesday. We got a lot of games. Let's get into it. The first game is the Dallas Mavericks went to Cleveland, 120, 122, or 112. They beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. Luka, after destroying the Lakers just the day before, another almost 30-point triple-double. He's fully online. Struggled a little bit in the beginning of the season, maybe a little bit out of shape, maybe a little bit hurt. Really good here. Jalen Brunson, if you need guard stats, you could have him during Finney-Smith and Reggie Bullock. If you look at their minutes, all play super high minutes, and Maxi Kleber is the only bench guy played over 20 minutes, 25, and he's not, we don't need to stream him. But if you need threes, 100%, Reggie Bullock is the best guy out there at the moment. Dorian Finney-Smith had a career night, 28 points. He's up and down offensively, but he usually hits some threes, some defensive stats. But all the other Maverick guys, they're not really fantasy relevant. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, yes, we have Moses Brown coming in place of injured Evan Mobley. And they're kind of short. They don't really have a true center now, so they have to play Brown. And they got a great schedule. Well, you probably should have streamed him before yesterday's game. But if you need some rebound, some field goal, and some blocks, he's the guy to go to. Just because they got a great schedule. They have 3 more games left this week. But some other teams also got 3 more games. So, well, yeah, the Clippers got 3 games left. The LA Lakers got 3 games. But the right thing to do is stream him before yesterday. Isaac Okoro would be an okay stream before the week started if you need a bit of a defensive stats. Had a steal and 2 blocks here. And Darius Garland, is he going to play all games this week? I think he might rest. He might rest a game or 2. They have a back-to-back today and yesterday. He played 37 minutes. So let's see if he pops up on the injury report for some of the Cavalier guys. And Karis LeVert, yep, he's a must roster. Coming back from an injury now, he's fully ramped up. And there's just a lot of usage out there to grab. Share some of the load for Darius Garland. 32 points, 3 threes. Really good efficiency. Unlike him, he's a must roster for the rest of the week. Lauren Markkanen, same thing. They still got 3 games. Kevin Love, 26 minutes. The minutes is there, but versus a good defensive Mavericks team, he didn't really do much. Had 8 points and 2 threes. But again, these 3 guys is fine to have. They still have 3 games left this week, and if they give you what you want, perfect. Let's go to the next game. The Denver Nuggets beat the Indiana Pacers 125-118, and Jokic is making a real good case for the MVP right now. But it's very rare you see, the Denver Nuggets, their schedule is not their schedule, their record is not as good as, they're the 5th seed. So Joel Embiid, 3rd seed in the East. Yep, I mean, who knows? They might be 2nd or 1st. I mean, it's all open right now. And because Jokic's team is worse and he got an MVP last year, I think in order to get back-to-back MVPs, you have to be, I don't know, Steve Nash kind of did it. I don't know, it's kind of like popularity test and narrative, but Jokic is the number 1 player in fantasy, there is no doubt about that. 37 points, 14 for 19 against the bad Indiana Pacers team, 9 assists, 13 rebounds. He did have 7 turnovers, but really good here. Will Barton had a decent game. Monty Morris, all these guys, they got a back-to-back. Sure, they don't. They have a game on Friday, they have a game on Sunday. So if you want to stream guys in between, like Thursday, you want to stream guy on Saturday, because if we have so many games on Friday and Sunday, you might already have a full roster. So you could drop guys like Jeff Green, Aaron Gordon. You could potentially get 2 more games out of the roster spot because you stream on Thursday and Saturday, and you already have 10 guys playing on Friday and Sunday. But yeah, I mean, although these guys are really that interesting. Bones Highland had a great game, 20 points, 7 assists, a steal and a block in 27 minutes. He's a great player. He could put up numbers, but the thing is that Malone, you can't trust him to get 25 minutes every night. Sometimes he will just get 20. So if it's beginning of the season, things could change. Then maybe pick him up, because who knows, by the end he might get 30 to 35 minutes. But you can't really trust him now. Will Barton also had an okay game. Alright, we look at the Pacers. Gogo Badaze, yes, he's the guy to own at the moment for Indiana Pacers, but as soon as Isaiah Jackson comes back, he might go back playing 20 minutes. and that makes him not that attractive. Pacers, just like many other teams, all their games are high volume days, Friday and Sunday. Gogo Badazi, yeah, 2 steals. If Isaiah Jackson continues to miss games, we should continue to hold on to him. Buddy Hield, 5 threes, 20 points, great. And Tyrese Halliburton, what a game. Again, 12 assists, 4 steals, and a block. This is why we love Tyrese Halliburton. Definitely a guy that I'm looking to pair him up with a guy like Jimmy Butler. You're just going to have a super... Well, Jimmy Butler is kind of dangerous because he gets hurt too often. But other than points, everything is so elite. To be honest, really elite efficiency-wise. He still does score like 16, 17 points. So, you don't need to pump points with him. But compared to other top 20 guys, he probably scores the lowest. Maybe some big men like Rudy Gobert. Justin Anderson and Terry Taylor started. Both played okay, but the rotation for this team is who knows if Malcolm Brogdon is going to play next game, and if he does, then these guys have no value. Jalen Smith with Gogo Badaze playing, he gets 21 minutes. So what are we really doing here? All right, let's go to the next game. The Orlando Magic lost to the Washington Wizards 110-127. Mo Bamba played 22 minutes. Yeah, this guy's minutes is, this game Wendell Carter Jr. didn't even play. So the guy's minutes is just hovering around 25 minutes. And if no blocks, if you don't need the blocks, 100% drop him. At this point, blocks is the only thing he's offering. And for the Orlando Magic, they actually don't have a great schedule. They have 2 more games this week. They are like high volume days. And the last week, next week, they have 4 games, and they're all kind of high volume days as well. But yeah, hold on to Mount Bamba if you need blocks. In all the other scenarios, I think you're way better off just drop him. Yeah. He provided a little bit of rebound too, to be honest. But everything else, it really comes and goes. Chuma Okeke got the start with Wendell Carter Jr. out. Would have been a good stream, but didn't really do much. Franz Wagner at this point, 28 pointers is really nice. But none of the Magic guys is a must roster, to be honest. If you have all your full house on Friday and Sunday, you're better off to drop some of the guys and stream somebody on Thursday and Saturday. You get 2 more games, right? Because I doubt Okeke is going to be a top 10 best players. Maybe he is, if you're top heavy. For the Washington Wizards, though, KCP continued to score to average 20 points on this team. We could continue streaming him, but one thing to keep in mind is that they did play some bad teams. So this game they scored 127 points. If they play a Phoenix Suns or Golden State Warriors, they're gonna score 90, and it's not gonna look that pretty. So they play their schedule is they play the Mavericks tomorrow. I don't expect guys to put up games. I don't expect KCP to have 25 points. I don't expect Kristaps Porzingis, who's been really good, to have 35 points. And they play the Celtics. They started playing some nice teams, so I don't know. If you want to string KCP, go ahead. But they don't have a great schedule either. All their games are on high volume days. Rui Hachimura has been getting the start. I don't think we should trust him. And Kristaps Porzingis had 35 points in 29 minutes. Really great stuff. Daniel Gadford played 19. Also had 1 steal and 3 blocks. So if you need blocks, Daniel Gadford is the guy. Satoransky had 13 assists and 10 rebounds in 0 point. What a double-double he had. He took 2 shots. But, if you need assists, sure, go grab him. But don't expect him to be this good when they play the Mavericks and when they play the Celtics. Smith still gets 21 minutes, so they're kind of splitting the minutes still. And Corey Kispert getting the full 35 minutes, but the guy doesn't really do much other than hitting threes. We could go to the next game. Well, Miami Heat and Boston Celtics. Miami Heat, they don't really have anybody fantasy worthy to pick up with everybody healthy. Jimmy Butler, great, 24 points. And okay, I wouldn't say a great, 6 for 8 from the free throw line and only 1 steal. He hasn't been the same since the last 2-3 months. Ben Adebayo, what stands out this game is he had 8 assists. And Kyle Lowry had 8 assists. This is the thing, Bam wasn't getting any assists for whenever Kyle Lowry was playing. Good to see him getting 8 here and 2 steals. Bam has been really good. Kyle Lowry, 8 assists, 23 points, good stuff from him. And Max Strauss got the start with Duncan Robinson coming off the bench. That is interesting. Had 4 threes, but you don't know what the Heat rotation going to look like next game. I mean, I don't know if he's going to get consistent 30 minutes. If he is, then he's like another Reggie Bullock. They're just going to make a huge amount of threes. They're going to make over 3 threes a game, pretty much. And all their shot attempts are going to be from the 3-point line. All right, let's look at the Celtics side. Jason Tatum, yep, they lost Robert Williams. And right away, they lost the game. So we'll see how Celtics plays without Robert Williams. Maybe now we realize how good he really is, how important he really is for this team. Tatum, no threes, 23 points. I know average game, and Jaylen Brown struggled a little bit versus a good Miami Heat team, 28 points, still got 28 points. The counting stats are there, and Al Horford is going to have a huge finish. Yeah, he's going to have a huge finish. The Celtics, they got 3 games next week, but the good thing is, even though they only got 3 games, but 2 of their games on Wednesday and Thursday, they are on low volume days. So you're gonna get good value out of these guys, out of some of the Celtics guys next week. So some of the guys like Marcus Smart, I don't know, Marcus Smart is rostered everywhere. Guys like Derrick White, we gotta pay attention to, right? Grant Williams, we could potentially pay attention to. We should pay attention to some of these guys. All right, let's go to the next game. The Charlotte Hornets. Yeah, like after today's game, I think some of the guys, PJ Washington could be dropped, even though he had a great game here. If playoff is tight, 100% drop PJ Washington, drop Mason Plumlee, right? LaMelo Ball and Terry Rozier, Miles Bridges, we want to hold on to them. But their next game is on Saturday, so and they'll be their only game rest of the week. So 1 game in 4 days. So if after Saturday's game you have enough acquisitions left, and you have to drop everybody to fill up your Sunday slot. I mean, you have 12 games, so I doubt you need to drop some of these guys to fill up your full lineup. But something to think about. If you want to cut Terry Rozier, if you want to cut, I mean, anybody is cut. You could cut. If it's your last matchup, you could cut Jokic if he doesn't have a game on Sunday. If he played his last game, and a lot of situations. If you have unlimited acquisitions, I would stream all day, every day. Cody Martin and Kelly Oubre Jr. both got 25 minutes, but they're not really fantasy relevant. This game, LaMelo Ball had a huge game, 15 assists, 3 steals, and 20 points. Really love what he's doing toward the end of the season. And Miles Bridges played really well again, 31 points with 4 threes. Yeah, next year, I mean, once Gordon Hayward comes back, all these guys, LaMelo Ball is a top 20 player. To me, Terry Rozier is a top 50, 60 player. Miles Bridges top 30, 40. If he can hit his free throws, he could go even higher. So these guys, they're gonna be great fantasy wise in the years to come. For the New York Knicks, RJ Barrett and Julius Randle, both played okay. To be honest, very low defensive stats and very poor efficiency. This is the mojo of the New York Knicks guards, New York Knicks stars. These 2 guys, poor efficiency, but they put up counting stats. Sure, Mitchell Robinson are still in the block. And what we got to pay attention to is Allen Burks and Evan Fournier. Both play well. And we look at the New York Knicks schedule. They have a quality game on Saturday. They have a back-to-back Saturday and Sunday. So that's when you could kind of go in there and stream some of the guards, Allen Burks or Evan Fournier, and even Emmanuel quickly. Use 1 acquisition, get 2 guys out of it. And we just look ahead for next week, the New York Knicks. They have 3 games, but 2 of them being quality games. So there potentially be some opportunities there to stream some of the New York Knicks guys next week. Just to look ahead. The next game, the Timberwolves, they were hot for a little while, and now they got destroyed lately, by Raptors. And I think, who did they lose to? They lost to the Suns last week as well. So they've been losing to some good teams. This game, Cat. The biggest problem with Cat is, the guards don't get him the ball enough. I feel like for such an elite shooter to take only 1 3 this game. I don't know what Raptors did off defensively. Maybe they were just doing a really good job. But taking 13 shots is, But Cat, always put up great numbers, 10 rebounds, 2 steals and a block, had 7 turnovers. Yeah, he kind of really struggled with 5 fouls as well. Vanderbilt is not a must roster. Even though he put a decent line here, 7 rebounds, a steal and a block, 10 points, but the minutes is low as you can see. They've been splitting minutes with Taurean Prince. Some of the minutes goes to Jalen Noel, some of the minutes goes to Naz Reid. So even though he starts, he's not getting 30 minutes. So we could drop him and stream somebody else. And the Wolves, they don't have a great schedule. They do not have a great schedule. Anthony Edwards, 24 points, 8 rebounds, a steal and a block, with 4 assists, 4 threes. An okay game from him. Really struggled for the last couple months. This is a decent game versus a good defensive Raptors team. D'Lo struggled. Yes, I could see that. For his playing style, he's gonna struggle with length. 3 for 15 here is really bad though. 13 points. Still want to hold. And Patrick Beverley got 1 block and nothing else. Also a guy that we could, but for the Timberwolves again, they actually have a horrible schedule. Probably the worst schedule in the entire league. All their games are they only have 3 games this week and they have 3 games next week, and all of their games are high volume days. So they literally have the worst schedule in the entire NBA. All right, we look at the Raptors though. Somebody needs to be. One thing is Scotty Barnes only played 25 minutes, and he got benched in the second half. He was just really horrible. So we'll see what happens. If he's only going to get 25 minutes, is he a must roster? The Toronto Raptors for the rest of the week, they have 2 games, and they are both not quality. They both are high volume days. So maybe, hold on to it for 1 game to see where Scotty Barnes, so just to see where things are. He is, if he just gets 25 minutes, I don't know. I feel like you're going to get way better value to stream that spot. Pascal, a triple-double. Wow, what a game from him. Struggled from the field, but had 13 assists, which was huge. OG started at the center. Made all of the shots, but no defensive stats, 22 points, which is okay. Gary Trent Jr. hit 6 threes, 29 points. No steals, that's kind of disappointing. And Fred VanVleet had 5 steals and a block. What a game from him with 8 assists and 3 rebounds. That's the Raptors starters for you. Surprised Gary Trent Jr. only played 27. I guess it was a blowout, and Nick Nurse finally went easy. But he still played Pascal for 40 minutes. And some of the bench guys, Chris Boucher and Precious Achiuwa, we could just let them go. Right? The minutes are not, And the waiver wire should be full of talent at this point. There's maybe 2 teams left, 4 teams left. A lot of talent. And yeah, speaking of talent, these 2 teams, a lot of guys. De'Aaron Mitchell is a must roster. De'Aaron Fox, I don't think he's coming back. 24 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, a steal and a block. Yeah, fully ready to go. He's going to average 20 points easy, in my opinion. Dante Divacenzo, if you need threes and steals, he provides so many different categories. He also can grab a lot of rebound. I also like him. Damian Jones, I like him. Trey Lyles, I like him. To be honest, these 4 guys I just mentioned, they're all better than Harrison Barnes. They're all better fantasy players than Harrison Barnes. And I don't think Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox come back. So Trey Lyles, if you need points, threes, and rebounds, he's going to be good. Same thing with Damian Jones. But again, this game, they did play the Rockets, so everybody's stats is inflated because it's just 2 bad teams playing each other. Everybody's going to put up numbers. Damian Jones, what a game. 1 steal, 4 blocks. And just to look ahead, the Kings, they play Houston again. So that Friday's game will be fun, but then they play Warriors. That's going to be a test. That's going to be tough. And then look at the Rockets side, same thing. Usman Garaba started in place of Christian Wood is out for the season. We have Anpro Şengün out this game as well. So Usman maybe potentially could be a good stream. Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green both popped off versus the bad Kings team. They play again on Friday, so hold on to these 2 guys. They are fun, right? 32 points for Jalen Green with 6 threes. Provided nothing else. Meanwhile, Kevin Porter Jr. usually provides more categories. Shot the ball well, made his free throws, 12 rebounds, 12 assists. This is his best game this season, I think. Jason Tate, Garrison Matthews, we're not really interested in them. Kenyon Martin Jr. and Josh Christopher, if these guys get 30 minutes, then they are very, very good. they're good to go. But Christopher had 5 steals in 24 minutes. But if they're just gonna get 25 minutes, I can't really trust them to produce elite numbers in just 25 minutes. Let's go to the next game. Yep, another Oklahoma loss to the Atlanta Hawks. Trae Young in 29 minutes, 41 points. Just toying with them, 8 assists, 2 steals. Yep, they have a back-to-back. So it's a good idea to rest the guys, right? Don't play them for huge minutes. Kevin Huerter also could be picked up. They play again today, low volume day. Really good here, 20 points with 4 threes. Just shooting the ball unbelievably, 8 for 10. Clint Capella, 20 minutes. Yes, because the rookie Okongwu got majority of the minutes. The rookie had 13 rebounds, didn't really do much, but 28 minutes mainly because it's a blowout and they have a back-to-back, so that makes sense. DeAndre Hunter came back and played. Timothy Loa will play 22 minutes. Delon Wright came in and played 26 minutes. But if he's not starting, if he's not getting 30 minutes, I don't think we really want to pick him up. Now it's kind of late. He played huge on Monday. Yesterday's game was okay. Didn't really score, but 6 assists and 2 steals. If you're looking for that, he give you that. And Bogdanovic just had 20 points in 21 minutes. Also, the guy had some ankle issues, so yeah, they want to preserve him for tonight's game. That's fine. Hit 4 threes as well with 2 steals. Yeah, Oklahoma City Thunder just turning the ball over like crazy. They had 10 steals for the Hawks. And let's look at a lot of talent. Aaron Wiggins, Pokashevsky, Isaiah Roby, this guy Vitt, 1 for 10. Theo Maledon, yeah, these 5 guys could all be streamed and picked up. Well, if Trae Mann comes back, maybe we don't want to pick up Vitt, and Theo Maledon should still be getting 30 minutes if Trae Mann does come back. So let's go pick up Theo Maledon, Isaiah Roby, of course, Pokashevsky, and Aaron Wiggins and Vitt. The thing, Oklahoma City Thunder, they do have 2 more games, but all their games are high volume days. So are you really gonna use them? Pokashevsky hit 4 threes. That's huge. 8 assists and 13 points. 8 assists is also huge. The man has been getting a lot of assists lately. I think he had 1 game where he had 11 assists, which is, he's the point guard now. Theo Maledon also had 8 assists, 18 points. Pretty good game, to be honest. I'm really surprised because last year, I know he gets 30 minutes, he gets nothing down. The last couple games really scoring well, dishing out assists, hitting threes. So really like what he's doing as well. Isaiah Roby, after career night, went 2 for 6 from the free throw line, but everything else is good. I mean, 9 rebounds, 14 points, 2 assists and a block. That's not bad at all. So I like Isaiah Roby the most actually, and Pokashevsky and Theo Maledon. So these 3 guys, if they're out there on the waiver wire, let's go grab them. Okay, let's go to the next game. The Grizzlies. Wow, this game actually has a lot of implications for the plays for the Lakers. Because if the Spurs win, then Lakers, they are not looking great. They barely escaped the Grizzlies. Jaren Jackson Jr. came back, played 25 minutes, put up 1 steal and 2 blocks. The guy just provides so many defensive stats. 5 rebounds, 5 assists, look good. And now the offense is mainly going to fall to Desmond Bane and Dillon Brooks. Both played okay. And Tyus Jones, yep, we know what this man can do. 6 assists and 2 steals, but he provided 25 points and 5 threes. Really had it go in this game. Very, very solid player. We should absolutely pick him up. You should probably pick him up ever since Morant went down. Just be providing very solid numbers. Every time Ja Morant gets hurt, he just comes and he provides 6 assists a game, 6-7 assists a game, with 1.5 steals and 1.5 threes, and 11-12 points. Just super solid guy. DeAnthony Melton. It's a shame he only gets 24 minutes. Kyle Anderson gets 22. And the Grizzlies, they don't really have a great schedule. They play the game this week. They played the game. Last game is on Friday versus not a friendly matchup versus the Phoenix Suns, the best defensive team in the league. And they don't have any games. So be ready to drop all their guys. Like you could even drop Jaren Jackson Jr. If this is your last week of your matchup, 100%. Because, even if he's the number 1 ranked player, if you had no games, well, why are you holding on to them? For the San Antonio Spurs, Devin Vassell, 19 points. Keldon Johnson, 23 points. All these guys, yeah, Spurs, another team that's have 4 games this week, but they're all of high volume days. But Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Josh Richardson, if you need some guard stats, they all hit threes. Josh Richardson had 5 steals, which is huge. They could all be streamed, in my opinion. Jacob Poole and Dejounte Murray both play well. But it's too bad. They lost by 1 point. And for the Spurs, they're trying to make the plays. So they're going to play their star players, which is good news for them. So Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, Josh Richardson, these 3 guys need to be picked up and streamed. They also have 4 games next week, I believe. But again, most of those games in high volume days. And let's talk about the next game. Yep, the Warriors, they really tried. Still lost 107-103. Mikal Bridges just being unbelievable. 22 points. Just shooting the ball super well. 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. Jay Crowder, 10 points, 3 steals. Yeah, could stream him. As long as Cam Johnson is out, I do expect Jay Crowder to get 30 minutes a night pretty comfortably. And he provide multiple categories. And for the Phoenix Suns, what's their schedule look like? All the games are on high volume days, so that kind of sucks. DeAndre Ayton, 16-16, big double-double. But at this point, right, if you're gonna take DeAndre Ayton, you know he's not gonna give you any assists, he's not gonna give you any steals, he's not gonna give you any blocks, he's gonna give you rebound, he's not gonna give you any threes. So you're basically punting 4 categories with this guy. He give you points, good efficiency, and rebounds. But that's just not enough. Not a guy that I want to take in the top 40, I think. Devin Booker struggled this game, 22 points with 2 threes. And Chris Paul had an okay game, not the best. 8 assists and only 8 assists and a steal with 15 points. And you know we should all drop Cameron Payne. You know, now that Chris Paul is playing, and I'll be interesting to see when the Suns gonna start resting players, because they already locked on the first seed, right? So I don't know. Maybe by the end they're gonna rest some of their guys. So be ready to pick up. You know, if Chris Paul is sitting, be ready to pick up Cameron Payne, for example. If Devin Booker is sitting, right, Cameron Payne could come in and play huge minutes. For the Golden State Warriors, Klay Thompson played just horrible, man. I think Klay Thompson is really hurting this team. I understand they try to get him back to shape, but every other game he's just negative. He's negative every single game, and you know when Curry was playing, it's just like they're trying to feed him the ball, kind of forced to feed him the ball, try to get him going, but that hasn't happened yet. I mean, he had one good game, but all the other games he just really sucked. Jordan Poole, on the other hand, my God, 38 points, 7 threes, 9 assists, 7 rebounds, and a steal. When we drafted Jordan Poole, we knew, without Klay Thompson, he's going to break out. He kind of did. But the last couple of weeks, he's just top 20 player. I mean, if you compare his stats to Steph's stats, Steph is obviously better, but it's not that far off. Steph is definitely better efficiency. But man, the guy is putting up numbers. Averaging 25 points in the last 2 weeks with, 3 threes, 4 threes a game. Draymond Green, good to see him, playing like this, 2 steals and 3 blocks. Yeah, Draymond Green, if he tries, he's gonna put up the numbers: 7 assists, 10 rebounds, and 8 points. Really good stuff from Draymond. Really good game. Andrew Wiggins, 19 points, 8 rebounds, with 2 threes. Yeah, not the best game. I do expect with Curry out, there's a lot of usage. I do expect Wiggins to average over 20 points, but that hasn't happened. Right, that hasn't happened. Jordan Poole stepped up, but Wiggins is he still doesn't look that assertive to me. Gary Payton Jr. could play 22. Otto Porter play 28. Yeah, the Warriors all their games are. They have 2 games left this week. They have a low volume day on Saturday, and they have a back-to-back. So which is interesting to see if Draymond Green gonna play both. Maybe he rests in one game. So we'll see what happened on the weekend, but pretty sure Jordan Poole is gonna play all the games unless he's got an injury. Let's look at the last game of the night. The New Orleans Pelicans beat the Portland Trail Blazers. Yes, easy game for Brandon Ingram. Played just 27 minutes, 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. Coming back playing, that's all we can ask for. An okay game overall. Valanciunas was questionable, and Jackson Hayes, we could let him go. Right, with Brandon Ingram back, the minutes is not guaranteed, and we could let him go. 20 minutes of Jackson Hayes is just not enough. Herbert Jones continues to get crazy amount of defensive stats. 1 for 6 doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to me. 4 steals and a block. What a game from him. He's been averaging, in the last month. At least he should be averaging. Let's just look at the last month of Herbert Jones. How many steals is this guy averaging? It's crazy. Definitely leading the league, I think. Yep. So we have Paul George averaging 4 steals in the last, because he only played 1 game, and we have Herbert Jones averaging 2.6 steals in the last 3 weeks. Unbelievable. Sorry. So if you pick them up, you are all good in the steal category. CJ McCollum had 25 points, just very mediocre numbers. And next year, is he a top? Do you want to pick him up in the top 50? That's where he's gonna be. Probably want to pick somebody with a high upside at that spot. Just the boring points and threes and nothing else really. The defensive stats are not there. And the rest of the guys, you have Larry Nance Jr. played 22 minutes, splitting minutes, and that's another reason Jackson Hayes' minutes went down. But yeah, not a guy that we are really interested in, given the minutes. For the Portland Trailblazers, yes, Drew Eubanks, 100%, huge field goal guy, providing lately defensive stats as well as doing the block, 100% must roster. Greg Brown, CJ LB. I mean, some of these guys, yes, they're gonna have the usage. They're gonna play 30 minutes. But how like if you don't care about the efficiency, you just want some counting stats. Sure, you could stream some of these guys. And the Portland Trailblazers, they don't have it's not like they have a great schedule, right? Yeah, all their games. I mean, like many other teams, they have 4 games, but all their games are high volume days. And next week they have 4 games as well. But again, all their games are high volume days. And another guy, Chris Dunn, had 8 steals and 8 assists and 2 steals. Yeah, those are great numbers. If you need assists and steals, 10-2 Chris Dunn. And that's it for all the games, guys. I will see you guys next time.